Welcome back to the final time this evening as we have one match to go. It is the decider match of Group H. 15 players have been selected to play at the season finals. One position is open. Who's going to take it though? That's the big question as we have two players left. It is TLO and it is Violet. Violet's been having a difficult time in 2015. TLO, 2 top 8 performances in the WCS. But it doesn't matter about any of that, Kolaris, because it's just this best of 3 to go.
Yeah, and despite, obviously, it kind of coming down to this very last series, I still got to lean towards how TLO is able to play out this matchup. We've seen how confident he has been since the very, very start of this year when it comes to Zerg versus Zerg. Maybe even before that, who knows, in terms of his internal practice. But with how he's looking in this matchup at the moment, it's looking good.
I mean, he smashed Violet 2-0 early on in 10 minutes, man, and Violet knew he played bad.
He did, but on the other side of things, Violet said he wanted to revenge that, and also he stepped it up a bit. He was playing a little bit predictable in his series against Yigua, but in the second and third map of that series, he did start to mix it up a little bit, and that's when he won the game. So I feel like going into this series now, he's definitely going to have to play a bit less predictable and more towards the unpredictability that he was playing in the later half of that series against Yigua.
And we really can't stress how important this best of 3 is for Violet. I mean, if he loses this, when are we going to see him again? If again, in StarCraft 2 this year. There's not that many tournaments left over. It's all leading towards the global finals. This is a massive moment for the Korean.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, especially since how he's looked in 2015. When you look at Violet, you expect him to get to the upper echelons of a WCS, right? It's kind of where he made his mark in the previous years.
He has a Korean flag next to his name, Kolaris.
Exactly, that's important as well. And at the moment, going out in the round of 32, and now here, if he goes out again, that's a brutal position to be in.
Yeah, and he's got a lot riding on him. He is up there with Polt as one of those American Koreans who are always expected to deliver and go far in his WCS season. So yeah, he hasn't been doing too good lately, but he is keen and he is eager to get back to where he was before.
And keen and eager are 2 simple words to describe TLO. He is absolutely all about this right now. He knew that his teammate was going to be a difficult match, but he is mean, he is keen, and Dr. Dario has to deliver in this best of 3.
Yeah, I think when he looks and reflects back on the series that he just played there against Mana as well, he's got to be kind of kicking himself as to how he goes down to Mana in that last game, especially. Caught a little bit off guard, caught a little bit blindsided during all of that, and he'll be looking to just kind of push through and reinforce it.
I mean, it's Zerg versus Zerg. It's his best matchup. It's his favorite matchup. He loves this.
Exactly. So I feel like he's definitely going to be confident in this matchup, but at the same time, it is all or nothing. This is the last chance that he's got in WCS for Heart of the Swarm. So he definitely wants to get a win here, and he definitely needs a win here if he wants to keep that dream alive.
It's so crazy to think that Legacy of the Void is just around the corner, and now coming to the last game of the last group in the round of 32, we're looking at, if he loses here, he's in trouble. What is he going to do?
We'll be seeing him stream more Legacy of the Void, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? And there's the infamous stress ball. It seems to have grown in size since the last time I saw it. I'm pretty sure it was a little bit smaller than that last time, but there it is again to get his wrists ready for action.
With all his prize winnings each season, he's able to buy a bigger stress ball, so it's okay.
Imagine if he won BlizzCon, man. He'd have a bouncy ball.
No, it is stressful, though. He does need to calm himself, and that helps him, but he's kind of, actually, he is one of those staple people that has been in Premier every single season, and not many people take too much notice to that, but that is one crazy feat to do. I think only 4GG and Polt actually join him in that achievement, so that is definitely something to look at, and definitely something that he wants to I guess, make people aware of more and show him why he's been so consistent in Premier and do well this season.
Yeah, and he's going to need to deliver again here, as mentioned. Terraform is going to be the first map, which we can talk about a little bit. The other 2 is going to be Coda and Bridgehead. Going back to your point, I feel that TLO should have ribbons of all the WCS Premier Leagues that he's played in above his bed as he goes to sleep each night. But Terraform, the first map here, we've seen it a lot today. We saw it earlier on when these 2 played. This is a crazy map, and really anything is possible.
Yeah, and it's the same opening map as the last series that they did play, so whether or not there will be mind games coming into it, we're yet to see, but I feel like it's definitely a good way to start things for Violet. He can really change up what he's been doing in the past few series, so I feel like he's going to be comfortable going into this new map.
What are your thoughts here, Claris, before we get into this?
Well, I think looking at the way TLO plays out is Zerg versus Zerg, something that is oftentimes a part of his repertoire is, hiding evolution chambers around there, going for an early +1, trying to go for those kind of roach pushes. He could definitely do something like that on Terraform. It's hard for a Zerg later on in the early game to try and get to the very back and spot something like that. So that's definitely something that could occur here.
Quick last thoughts, Sam, before we jump into this.
I just don't want to see Violet do what he done last time and do that kind of funky wall, not wall kind of thing and end up losing the game because of that. I want to see him play the games that we know he can play and really bring his A game to see, to see what he's made of.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. For the last time, we are going to the commentary team. One of these two is going to the season finals. Which one is it going to be?
Thank you for the analysis, guys, there on the desk. And what a match we are about to see. Can the Korean champion of old take down the hometown hero in the rematch? It was a really quick first series that they had earlier in the day, and Violet's going to have to change something up. What do you think he's got in store for us here, Todd?
Well, definitely some more solid walls and better holds if TLO was to play aggressive like he did in the first series.
He's going to need to bring it as we are hopping here into game one on Terraform. TLO versus Violet. This is the final deciding match of the day. And spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side, we have our blue Zerg player representing EnVyUs. It is Violet. Facing off against his opponent up here, the hometown hero, the German representative playing for Team Liquid. It is Liquid's TLO.
You're getting pretty good at this. Unlike me.
Oh, thanks, Todd. And of course, the killer stare there on TLO. You see his eyes there? He looks really focused.
He should. He probably expected to advance in the previous match, ended up falling to his teammate in what was a very close series, in particular that second game. I really thought this was going to be 2-0, but in the end was held. And he's the guy that supposedly really likes ZVZ. It's probably still the case, but yeah. I'm a little bit worried that, that last series, it didn't happen very long ago. He really needs to, I guess, have gotten over it here by now if he wants to be able to focus and play his best.
Yeah, like Violet said before, he wasn't too happy with how he was playing just after that previous series. He said, I just need to chill. I still need to try my hardest here, but I need to just kind of chill out and forget what's happened in those previous games because they have not gone his way. And both players opening up here with a nice fast hatchery first. Looks like both of them saying, you know what, you're not going to go for that early pool, even though, of course, Violet showed it earlier today. He did do an 8 pool before.
Yeah. So hatch first against hatch first. Who is it better for?
Well, Violet squeezed in one extra drone before building his spawning pool, so he's got the very, very slight economic lead. To some extent, I guess that shows TLO was still respecting the early pool option, saying, yeah, I'm going to get a hatch first, but going for a 14 pool afterwards, quite safe. And neither player dropping their gas just yet. Now, what both of these guys have really shown outside of TLO's Ling all-ins is that there was a lot of tendency towards roach play. But on Violet's side of things, once again, so far, no gases. And he showed that before. He was just like, I just want to play gasless. I want to wall off with queens and go to roaches.
So TLO going up against this style here and already knowing that here about Violet, is there something that he can do that will be particularly good?
I think he's got two options, and he kind of went towards the aggressive option in the previous set, right? Where he said, well, I can go all in. And, looks like a Spore Crawler trick actually coming out of Violet. But yeah, TLO can choose to go all in again. But considering he's used up that option, he's probably going to go in the opposite side, right? He says, well, you're going to be ready for the all-ins this time. I'm going to go for the greedy option. Yeah. Little does his Overlord know, though, there's a Spore Crawler trap waiting for his Overlord.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead.
Yeah, there's no way that gets out of there.
Certainty. Isn't there a way here, if you're TLO, that you can try to fake that you're going to do a similar timing as in the previous game? On all-in,
but
then you drone a power behind it.
Well, I guess losing the Overlord makes it a little bit harder, but you definitely could maybe build a few Zerglings and run across the map, and that could get that panic reaction. I mean, you got to think about Violet's nerves, right? After losing to 2 Zergling Baneling all-ins in a row, he might be like throwing down 6 evolution chambers, just seeing a few Zerglings.
And 10 spine crawlers.
It's definitely an option there, and interestingly, faster gases this time out of Violet, dropping them down right on 5 minutes, so just a little bit earlier, still going for his 4 queens, and for the moment, it looks like he's not overreacting. Oh, he's going for the aggressive Spore Crawler. Nice maneuver. So He basically says this sport isn't going to get a chance to do anything for the longest time, so I might as well just send this across the map. And it forces TLO to build a couple of units and to go and kill it.
Yeah.
So
But what happens later when burrowed roaches go in his middle line and you don't have the spore?
Then he's going to regret it. But hey, opportunity cost, right? This way he gets this free scout. And once in a blue moon in a high-level tournament, you'll actually see the player underestimate it.
And TLO's actually getting a lot of links here. Does he actually want to commit to this here once again?
You know what? Wouldn't that just be the ultimate
that's
mind game?
sick, by the way, on the spore, because Violet cannot even go forward and spot anything at all.
Nice moves there by TLO. The difference this time is Violet is getting a spine and his Roach Warren's already down, his walls are already up, but TLO is committing nonetheless. TLO is going completely all in. He's doing kind of like what Hitman did the other day. It's like, hey, it worked before, let's just do the exact same thing again. But you can see Violet is so much better prepared this time around.
He's going to do what he said before here, he's TLO, right? He's going to go for the Roach Warren, make sure that no Roach production ever starts, and as soon as he blows that up, the links are going to keep on coming in there. But he's going to commit everything he's got to it.
Oh, there's so much added firepower with this Spine Crawler, but if he can get that Roach Warren wall down, he might have a chance. Oh, uses up all his Banelings, but look at this beautiful rewall from... Oh, so greedy from Violet, but he's getting another Roach Warren down. Violet knows he needs a Roach Warren.
TLO talked about in the interview about how when you snipe that Roach Warren, then you can just pull back, kind of chill, because you know there's not going to be any Roach production for some time. You can get more and more links and Banelings and then go for another burst. And those buildings, they already took quite a bit of building damage here for Violet. So even though he's going to have some transfuse to work with, one single spine, can it be enough here with his 4 queens and the links that he's getting to hold on?
Oh, this looks like such a great wall-off from Violet. Yeah, there's more Banelings, but TLO is only mining with 1 gas at a time. He just can't make that huge number of Banelings again. Tries to blow his way and takes out 1 Evo chamber, but there's still transfuses here. The Roach Warren's still got half its life up, and he's already got 2 Roaches in production. Another transfuse dropping on the Roach Warren, and TLO is forced to tap out. GG! Oh man, that was such good preparation there from Violet. What do you think though, doing the same build for a 3rd time in a row against Violet?
Yeah, I don't like it. I did say that I thought that on this map, if he was to make just a few links, run across the map, he'd really make Violet paranoid this time around, and I think Violet would get a lot of units out, and then you can drone apart as TLO. He could have played to his image. In the end, he chose to maybe hope that Violet was going to think it's a bluff.
Yeah.
I think because it's just so obvious, you know, as a pro gamer, there is always these mind games where you cannot try to anticipate what your opponent is going to be thinking. And in this case, I think TLO probably thought that when he revealed a few links, or in this case, even showed a whole bunch, maybe Violet would think that it's a bluff. But in this case, I guess you reveal way too many links for it to even be a bluff. So Violet, all he had to do was defend solidly. Didn't even go for a second spine, actually, which surprises me.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been in panic, man. I know I played Protoss and I played Human in Warcraft 3, but I started a whole bunch of these spine crawlers.
Well, I mean, he was adding extra queens and he brought all 4 queens to the front. So I think it was enough firepower in the back there. I mean, the queens, they do damage, but the spine, it is what really packs the punch. And you could see Violet was very well prepared there. TLO with the double mind game, not quite panning out. And we can see the sweat on his brow, the redness in his face. The pressure's on for TLO. He can't throw away another game like that. And he may go back towards a more standard plan, but he hasn't actually tested his standard macro Zerg vs. Zerg skills against Violet yet.
Yeah, now would be a good time to do this, I think. On a map like Coda, how about it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty straight up in a lot of regards. And this map, I think it's a bit scary though now for TLO, right? Because he's given away the momentum a little bit in that now he's a game down. He's 1 game away from elimination. If he doesn't make it through, that's going to be a devastating feeling for TLO. And suddenly he's going to be feeling like he has to play safer, maybe afraid of those early pool all-ins. Violet's the one who's got a game to lose. He's got the spare life right now. So Violet has a lot more leeway in how he wants to open up in this game.
All right, we'll see how it shapes up here. As TLO, he's got a big decision to make here with what build order he goes for. No room left for mistakes here, though, for him.
Yeah.
It's do or die at this point here from TLO. One more single mistake like this, going for this kind of all-in, and it's held, and then that's it. He's out. He won't make top 8 this time around. Won't make top 16 even, after getting top 8 twice in the previous seasons this year.
What an important moment it is as we do dive here into map 2. TLO versus Violet here on Coda. And of course our first player spawning here on the right hand side of Coda. Representing Team Envious, it is Violet. Facing off against his opponent, Making it to the top 8 twice already this year, wanting to go for a third time to those finals. The German hometown hero representing Team Liquid, it is TLO.
TLO here on this map. I do think he needs to change things up here a little bit. Maybe try and play a little bit more macro, definitely going to a third base. I mean, he used to do really well in this matchup here, no matter what. Didn't necessarily always play that aggressive. What do you think happened here for him to try this?
I think, TLO was saying there's a little bit of, people talking about the games and being like, wow, it was so easy, what happened? And TLO was tweeting out. He was saying, he played exactly the same way as he plays on ladder. You know, he played really greedy there. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to kill him. And it worked out for him. He's obviously seen now, though, okay, look, I've done it twice. The third time didn't work. It's time to play a more standard game. And we do see a spawning pool first actually coming out for both players. Both players worried about that aggressive pool opening and just wanting to open up very safe here.
Who do you think would do better in a, I guess, more passive start kind of game, 3-base against 3-base roach scenario? Between these two.
I think from what we've seen recently, TLO has a real edge in those scenarios where, Violet's tried to get up there, but against Shigua, he didn't look that fantastic. He had some moments, but all in all, I think TLO's got that edge. He's got that flair in that mid-game Zerg versus Zerg.
All right, going to be interesting to see if he chooses to go for that route here. TLO in the previous game, he went for a single gas early on, or not too late rather. 6 links out of Violet. What do you make of this?
Okay. Well, he did go for 4 lings in the first series and actually got 2 drones in game 1. It was a really nice pickup. So maybe looking to try and throw TLO off a bit, do some more pressure. And the Overlord of TLO, though, is coming in. It's going to see these Zerglings pop. And TLO is aware of it. He's glanced at that. He's starting up Zerglings of his own. He should be prepared. Meanwhile, TLO is going for a gas back home.
A double gas?
What?
Is that a mistake? He started the second one as a fake here to really make Violet worried, I think.
Oh, Violet saw the other... Oh, the mind game's coming out of the Wunderwunsch. TLO is always so creative, always looking for little ways to trick out his opponent. And that's going to come into play a little bit later in the game where Violet thinks the gas is actually later than it is.
Actually, Violet, didn't spot the original one, so I guess it's just to fake that it was later than it is, as you say then.
Yeah, nice trick there from TLO. Very good hold on his ramp, and TLO defends those Zerglings very easily.
Look at the spine in Violet's base. Is he at this point basically saying, I'm really happy to go into a macro game and I'm willing to go the extra mile to make sure you don't cheese me out of this game?
I think so, but it's almost paranoid. That spine crawler cuts into his economy a lot, and he's got that at such a fast timing that it shows that Violet is actually worried about the potential for a big speedling flood.
Yeah.
And he got it so fast, that's really slowing him down. Maybe TLO being so brash as to go for 3 Ling Bane all-ins in a row has actually had an effect now on Violet's mentality.
Yeah, that could be the case. Goes for the extractors in his base here this time around. His Violet going to start the creep spread as well. If he wants to go for a wall, he's going to hit that single tumor here. Coming in handy. TLO though, just going to be droning up here for now.
And up
if
on
he
drones.
starts to go into links, I guess it'll be now. Oh, is it already too late? Yeah, it's too late already.
Yeah, I mean, he's up on drones. He's skipping his Baneling Nest. Looks like he's probably just going to go for a fast third blade and then go up to Roaches off that, higher economy, maybe slower upgrades. But look at this. TLO comes around the back of the natural. He's looking around. He wants to get an indication of, what are you doing, Violet? Is there maybe the potential for you to do some sort of delayed all-in behind this? So far, though, TLO showing no signs of being afraid, just dropping that third hatchery. And he's already got his 2 bases saturated on drones, on minerals. And looks like he's just going to drop a Baneling Nest for safety, and a couple more Zerglings coming out for TLO.
TLO starts the third base, which is not spotted here by the Overlord of Violet. How big of a deal can this be here? Violet doesn't realize early what it is.
This is really weird because I feel like the third base is almost... TLO wants Violet to see that because TLO is massing Lings, adding a Baneling Nest. It looks like he's going for a delayed Ling Bane attack here, and almost like he wanted Violet to see the third, but now adding drones and a Roach Warren. TLO looking like he's got something really special planned. Maybe going into a Roach Bane all-in following this big Ling Bane attack?
I think he wants to go, don't you think he wants to go into Roaches but make the Baneling a safety?
Maybe, but
I guess
like
both are possible.
He's built a lot of units here, and he knows that Violet's doing an economic build. So it looks like he's going to try and bust through this wall, but there's Zerglings behind that waiting to defend for Violet, and he does
not up yet, though.
Oh, no, but it is on the way here for Violet. These Lings coming in for TLO, they're going to have to get some damage done now because there's Roaches about to pop for Violet. The Lings are coming in from behind.
TLO's already ahead in walkers here. Any drones that he can kill is going to be a huge advantage that he can gain in this game. But with Roaches already being here for Violet now, he's going to be able to defend comfortably. Speed's also about to kick in here for him.
Yeah, he didn't kill too many drones, only 2, but he got the scouting information. He's seen, and this was that delayed all-in that TLO was looking for. It's the Roach Speedling all-in attack from Violet. TLO just gets these Lings out of there. He's building his own defensive Roaches. He should be completely fine.
TLO's ahead in drones here, so all he has to do, I guess, is keep on droning up, but at the same time get units and saturate that third base, which Violet only sees now with the creep that he can spot on the third base.
Yeah, and it looks like Violet's committing to this. I mean, he's getting a +1 range. He's only just starting droning now, but he wants to kill this third base. He's coming in here with a lot of Speedlings, a lot of Roaches. TLO only now going to show his Roaches. Almost identical Roach and Speedling counts. This is going to be a very close battle.
Oh, that poor Quinn. He's going to get an inject here as it comes out. Violet's got a lot of units here, though.
What's TLO doing with his Roaches? They're all sitting in the main base.
He was hiding them. I don't think he realized that these Roaches from Violet, they weren't there as a bluff. They really wanted to get that base. Violet, can he get out, though, behind this? I guess even if he doesn't get out in particular, he's going to be able to trade well enough that this was completely worth it.
Yeah, really nice attack here from Violet, taking down the third. Oh, the Lings from TLO, though. They are going to trap some of these Roaches here. Nice micro from TLO, trapping a few of the Roaches at the back. Does cut off most of Violet's force. Violet does take a lot of losses, but killing the third base while getting his own down. Violet, if he can defend the counterattack, he's going to be in a pretty good spot.
And TLO went for Burrow. He didn't go for Roach Speed. He only went for Burrow. So I think he's going to head across the map and use that Burrow micro that Roddy talked about so many times and say that not enough players did it. Well, that's what it takes, apparently. Mr. Creative himself to go for that, to try and burrow in the middle of the fight to make sure that these Roaches, they regenerate their hit points as the fight's happening.
An absolutely crazy move. Get him off Banelings of this. It is a huge Roachling Bane all-in with Burrow. TLO is looking to finish the game right now, but Violet knows it's coming. He's got creep set up. He's got a Spine Crawler. He's got a big spread of Roaches, Zerglings, and there's a Queen with 3 transfusers stacked up on it.
And missile attacks +1 will finish just before this fight begins. TLO gets in there with the Banelings, gets the Spine Crawler very quickly.
Oh, that concave of defensive Roaches from Violet, though, is just massacring TLO's force. This Burrow has no chance to come into effect. I mean, the Speedling Flood Reinforce coming in, starting to break down the side of Violet's concave, but there is just too many units popping out of Violet. He knew exactly what was coming his way, and he was so well prepared.
He didn't even use the Burrow. I guess he kind of would have been trapped over there because that fight happened pretty fast with all the Banelings that were there. TLO gets pushed back, and behind his Violet will have so much supply here to work with. Violet only starts Lair now. He was on hash retake here this whole time, and TLO never started Lair himself. This is I guess ZVZ in a nutshell here. Right?
This is two weird players playing Zerg vs. Zerg their own way. TLO trying to defend here. He doesn't have the numbers, though. He needs to build more Roaches. He needs to gather up. I mean, the reinforce is very slow from Violet. He's rallying Speedlings, but he's coming into the natural right now, and he's going to try and kill these Queens. TLO needs to get his Roaches back to defend this.
Yeah, he's trying to get back in there with the Ling and Roaches, but Violet with a nice micro will move toward the Queens. He's going to be able to get another one here at least.
Oh my, GG! TLO is just overwhelmed! Violet takes the 2-0 to progress to the Polish finals. A massive win and a comeback from him, stabilizing after a shaky start to the day, showing some very smooth play, adapting to the strange machinations of TLO, the crazy attacks coming in. There's such a back and forth final game, but Violet does pull it together. And as he said before, he just needed to chill out and find his form, and it looks like he did there at the end.
Such a heartbreaking loss for TLO. Started the day so strong here. 2 very quick wins against Violet. Looked like it could have been a 2-0 against Mana, but in the end, Mana with the clutch hold, and in the end falls to Violet in the last match here. Definitely a very impressive performance, though, across all 3 seasons of WCS with 2 top 8s and now a defeat in round of 32, sadly for him. But Violet, for a guy who was sleepy, he looked pretty good here.
Yeah, I mean, he came back. He suddenly showed that he had that fire. He had that form. That's what he's been lacking from the last couple of seasons, but he's finally found it. Let's hear from the man himself over at the analysis desk.
Thank you very much, Pig. We're joined here by Violet and, of course, Sam. Congratulations from a day that started really rough for you you've turned it around and you've managed to escape out the group here in second place, and you will compete at the season finals. Not sleepy anymore, I take it.
Yeah, I'll totally wake up.
You're awake and ready to go. Let's get you a plane ticket to Poland tomorrow, and let's get the tournament on the way. Talk to us about that series. Complete different mindset, it seemed like, from you. You approached it differently, you played it differently, you just looked like a much, much better version than yourself.
I have to say, because I lose first match versus him, and I figured it out. He go 15 heads and then put over the dip in my base, and go heavy ring, micro, because that's what his style. So I trying to make counter. So the Spore was the first game I did. I think it works. Every time you lose your overload by Spore color, you little piss. And me, I trying to mind the game, and I think it works.
Sam?
Sorry, that got me. So obviously, things didn't go too well for you today, but you did make it through. So do you feel like you need to address something so this doesn't happen again? Because you were nearly out, like you were on the ropes. What do you think you need to do to change that?
Well, first of all, I have to back to America, which is tomorrow, and I have another tournament, MSI, and it's really tired, but I still trying to my best. And after that, I can finally some break, and I think I needed more break time than practice now. So this, I'm keep thinking about my mind control for the next season, for next matches.
For the next part of the season.
And what would you say your main goal is? To win the whole thing, or what would you be satisfied with?
In the round 16, WCS been so long, so after I break, I need to get more confidence to make good results, but definitely I really want to win because it is probably a last season for hardest one, so I want good memory in my life.
All right, final question for me. I mean, you've played both seasons earlier this year, and it was a loss in the round of 32 each time, but now you've actually broken that. How much better do you feel breaking it? The last time you played in the round of 16 was last year in season 3.
I broken the curse or whatever, so it's time to win.
It's time to win, baby. Best of luck in the season finals. Violet's our second place finisher tonight from Group H. We can check in with the bracket here really fast to solidify the results 100%. If it's in the graphic, it's true. There's Mana goes through in first place, and Violet goes through in second. Congratulations to both of those who will move forward to the season finals to represent their countries. Now, joining us back on the desk, all of a sudden, Violet is Pig. Welcome back.
Hey, if only I could be as good at StarCraft as Violet. If only.
If only. But you're now a commentator with one of us. You've joined the dark side. Don't remember, everyone, is that you have to stay around because we're doing the round of 16 draw in a couple of moments. We are going to go to a quick break very shortly, and then we'll be going forward with that. I'm looking forward to this. It's always a favourite part for me.
Yeah, it's always my favourite part, but at the same time, I feel scared for the players because it can make or break you. Do you know what I mean? Like, the past few times we've seen favourites like Bunny just get completely destroyed in the group pickings. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it for sure, but a little bit nervous for the players.
All right, who's the standout pick that you're looking to see get a good group? Who do you want to have an easier run through before we throw this away?
An easier run through?
Yeah, who do you want to have an easier run through?
I don't know. I mean, I just want. I was speaking to Hitman earlier. He's upstairs, and he was saying he wants some PvP maybe. So I'd like to see him get a few Protosses and see the crazy stuff he has in store in that matchup.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to go to a very, very quick break, and when we return, it's time to draw the top 16 players who they're playing in the season finals. back, everybody, to the drawing show. I love this part of the show, Sam.
I love it too, and I love it even more that we've got Graham with us.
Yeah, the online specialist of operations here at ESL, who's headlining for StarCraft 2 this weekend, is joining us to commence the drawing and to have an official referee and administration team member, as you can see, to help us do this properly. So what we're going to do, I'm going to walk you through it quite simply here. It's quite an easy process. So what we're going to be doing, 4 groups obviously going to be playing in the season finals. This ball right here has 8 balls in it, and it has 8 winners from the groups from the round of 32. So we're going to be drawing out one at a time, A, B, C, D, and then back, A, B, C, D, until we have 2 winners in each group. And then begins the fun part, is where we draw out the rest of Group A, draw out Group B, draw out Group C, and draw out Group D. There's one rule going forward, is that you cannot meet a player that you played already in the round of 32. That's the only rule, and that's what we'll stick by. But that is the format. Do I get a nod of approval?
Doesn't necessarily have to play them, but be in the group.
Can't be in the same group. Same thing, Graham, same thing. Okay, let's begin the process, Graham. Let's draw the first player into Group A. Give it a twirl. I know that's your favorite part of the show. I'm so happy you don't have a mic. The first player is Mana, who won today's group. He goes into Group A.
Mana, definitely very excited to play in front of his home crowd in Poland. I'm sure he'll bring his A game.
Oh, that's why you're here. All right, let's... you're like, Mum, that was for you, Mum. All right. Second player is Gung Fu Panda, goes into Group B.
Gung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
The German hope, now the Van der Wunsch
Make sure
is
to
out.
keep your hands above the table here, Graham. I'll slap him. Hey, get off. Go on, continue on. So this is the first place player for Group C. So we are... All right, lovely. Hydra.
Hydra. Last season's winner. Probably hoping to repeat that again this season.
In Group C, he's looking to be, I guess, a champion again.
Not quite as good, Sean.
Not quite as good, no, I tried. All right, so D. Big Daddy J-Dong makes it to Group D.
J-Dong, the Tyrant. Yet to kind of make his breakout WCS performance. He did make a final, I believe, and did he actually go ahead and win that?
Well,
or
he played in the finals at BlizzCon in 2013.
Yeah, he did. But not quite the results since that, and I'm sure he's hoping to relive those glory days.
Yeah, he played in the final as well, I think, Season 2, 2013, the Cologne one. Season finals. All right, Graham, let's continue on Group A. So, this is the first player now that goes into Mana's group, who's sitting down there, Mana. You're playing against this guy eventually, hopefully. Possibly, maybe not, depends on the draws, I guess. Marine Lords. Thumbs up from Mana.
Marine Lords. So Mana, having a Terran opponent in his group, actually made it into Premier off the back of beating Happy, one of the better Terrans in Europe. So I'm sure he's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he gave us a thumbs up from the crowd. So Gung Fu Panda in Group B. This is going to be a player that you're going in the group with. Graham, do us the honors.
Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at it.
Snoot joins Gung Fu Panda.
Snoot showed a pretty dominating performance this week, so looking forward to seeing him play.
Team Liquid bodies dodge each other there, I suppose we can look at as well. Positive side of things.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure he's happy about that.
Well then, 2 winners left. Pult goes into Group C.
Pult, along with Hydra, probably one of the favourites to take the whole tournament. So
goes in with Hydra. I can't believe he's in there with Hydra.
Yeah, that's a pretty ridiculous.
It's really funny, isn't it? Since season 1, they've been like meeting lower and lower in the tournament, so eventually they're meeting the round of 32.
If someone looked at it from a different perspective, they would say this is definitely fixed. They just don't want to see these guys win.
Graham's like, it can't be fixed. I'm doing it live. So that leaves us with one player. Do you know who it is? I cheated because I looked at the graphic. It's 4GG.
Wait.
Yeah. 4GG goes in with Jaedong.
So that is 4 of the 5 Koreans now revealed.
Okay, now let's, while Graham sets up this next part, head to our fellow commentators who are hidden somewhere away in the crowd. Pig, Kalaris, and Todd, where are you?
Looks like we've been rumbled, guys. All right, well, Todd, let's start with you then. What do you make of the group so far?
Group C and D look to be pretty tough. Definitely some group of death potential in these two, but it's pretty cool to see even some matchups shaping up as they could happen, because I'm guessing it's going to be 1 against 4 and 2 against 3. So like the people that have been drawn out, they're not going to be facing each other, but it's all pretty stacked.
All right, and Pig, over to you. What do you think about, especially like Group A and B at the moment, with him touching on those so much? What's going on? I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Oh, I see what's happening. Mana, all right, wait a minute. Mana, what do you think of your group so far? What do you think of Marine Lord, mate?
It's gonna be good.
Perfect. Well, that pretty much wraps it up here. Let's head over back to the analysis desk.
All right, thank you very much, Kalaris. Graham is almost ready. It seems like Mana's having a lot of fun in the crowd there. What are your thoughts on the group so far? Looking, I guess, like Todd said, really bottom heavy.
Yeah, it is. 2 Koreans in 2 of the groups each, so that's definitely going to be a bummer for both of them. So I think that can also cause a lot of... Oh, here we go.
Graham,
Graham, what are you like? Silly Graham.
Silly Graham's at it again.
Yeah, I think they're probably not going to be too happy about that. I'm sure, as most of the Europeans as well, they want to avoid each other. So the fact that they are in a group, there's 2 groups, two Koreans, that's going to cause a few upsets, hopefully.
Okay, it's time for Graham. He's just double checking. He's making sure now that we're about to draw into Group A and B, that he has no players in that bowl that have already played against these guys in round of 32. Graham, are you ready?
He's not on form today, is he, Sean?
He is ready, he's ready. Let's continue. So let's finish Group A. Joining Mana and Marine Lord. In a few seconds, Mana, you'll know your full group and your first opponent. The first player to draw in. These are, of course, second place finishers naturally. Elfie joins.
Elfie, the wild card, the guy that actually replaced Euthermal and now has made it all the way to the round of 16. So definitely an achievement in itself.
Are we getting a thumbs up, Mana, or thumbs down? It's kind of okay, I guess.
Yeah, Elfie's one of those players, kind of a bit unpredictable, and especially in the PvP matchup, where he's always kind of specialised. So I can understand that.
Yeah, he's a tricky opponent, Elfie. He's going to play Marine Lord in the first match that they'll play. And now we get to find Mana's opponent. Who completes Group A? Who does Mana play with in front of his home crowd? Tension. Zanster. Big thumbs up from Mana.
Zanster's first time in Premier and actually making it to the round of 16, so a good showing from him so far. And Group A is shaping up pretty nicely. All 3 races, which should hopefully result in some good games for Mana.
Yeah, it looks like a cool group there. Mana, thumbs up? Thumbs up, how's your group? It's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue on then to Group B. So Gung Fu Panda and Snoot. Who plays first against Snoot is the little draw there by Graham. Sen,
Zerg player, kind of been around forever, along with a few other big names in here, but I think Snoot's probably going to be happy with that. His ZVZ is kind of next level, and on the other side of things, Sen is as well. He's always kind of specialised in that, so nice group.
I think Snoot will be happy with that group.
Yeah, I think so.
Graham, last player then to join Group B is... It's Petraeus.
I feel like that's probably a dream group for Snoot. I feel like he couldn't really ask for much better, and Petraeus, he's kind of one of those guys that Snoot would have played against many times on the European ladder. As we all know, Petraeus is that guy who just doesn't stop playing. So Snoot's probably going to feel very comfortable with that. Petraeus as well, though, it's his last tournament as a full-time, well, technically full-time player before he goes on to studying. So I'm sure he's going to want to prove himself as well.
Yeah, interesting group that. So Kung Fu Panda will open up against Petraeus, then Snoot versus Sen. Graham's just going to set up for the last one here, and we are going to go over to the crowd for Kalaris and impressions.
Impressions activated. All right, Pig, here we go. Group B, let's start with you. You know Petraeus obviously quite well. What do you make of how Group B's shaped up so far?
Well, 3 Zergs and a Protoss, so it's an interesting one. I think it's a little bit unfortunate for Gung Fu. Didn't get any Protosses in there. He loves his PvP, and I think it's really tricky because he's a very special Protoss player. And there's going to be 3 Zergs. They're all going to get to see the builds he's used before. That's going to be hard for him. But I think Petraeus, Sen, Snoot, it's all the ZVZ. The ZVZ, I think Snoot's got a really good shot at coming out first.
And over to Todd to see what he thinks about Group A, obviously with Marine Lord in there and the wild card that is Elfie. What do you think?
I'm not sure if he's going to be happy outside because Elfie is such a wild player to go against. So hopefully he works hard before going into this group. I guess having 2 Protoss at the same time, it's definitely better for him because he's got one main matchup to focus on, which I think is pretty good. I'm looking forward actually a lot to the Group C and D. I feel like Group C, if Hitman is drawn in there, then Hydra or Pult will be going out in the round of 16.
That's actually a good point. I forgot that Hitman was still around. Let's find out then. Let's head back over to the desk to see exactly where Hitman's going to be.
Thank you very much, Kalaris. 4 players remain to be drawn into these last couple of groups. Where is Lilbo going? Which group is he going is a big question on our minds up here. And of course, Violet's been thrown in with the Koreans, of course, Aigers, and of course, who's Hitman going to destroy in the round of 16? Let's begin. So let's finish Group C, which already has Hydra and Pult in it. Is Violet joining them? Is Lilbo? Look at the draw now. Violet joins Pult and Hydra.
And if you could see the reaction on Violet's face, I'm sure you will in a second here. He is definitely not a happy boy going up against those 2 monsters.
Look at that. Within a 15-minute span, you're like, congratulations, Violet, you're making it to Poland. 15 minutes later, you're playing Pult and Hydra. Sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, that's definitely going from a high to a low. No one's really going to be too happy with that group. And he does actually live with Pult as well, so obviously that's nothing...
It's such a hard group.
Maybe there'll be a little bit of banter between them, but yeah, you're never going to be happy with that group.
All right, who joins the 3 Korean group? Hitman? 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 Hitman?
I'm nervous.
No, come on, who is it? It's Hitman!
Wow.
Go get him, Tiger.
Wow.
Hitman must play against Hydra in the first game.
If that group wasn't as exciting as it already was, he's just made it so much more exciting. That is really the group to watch for me.
How many players can he take out?
You know what? Because at the end of the day, no disrespect to Hitman, but no one really expected him to make it out of his group this weekend, or this week rather. So going against 3 monsters as they are, Hydra, Pult, Violet, expected to go through, but Hitman, his cheeses are pretty good.
He's probably, if I'm not mistaken, he's probably on a plane right about now. Is he already left?
No.
Much earlier?
Hitman?
Yeah.
No, he's staying.
Is he still around?
He's,
oh no, that's right. He's staying a little bit longer, isn't he?
He's going to the Netherlands for a little bit to enjoy himself.
All right, so I'm sure he'll be knowing about this live right now. Let's go forward then. So we have 2 players left, Aigers and Lilbo. So it now comes down to who plays who. So the first player we're going to draw has to go up against 4GG in the opening match. Is it Aigers in a Terran versus Terran, or does Lilbo have to play him? Oh, there's Hitman! Hitman! He's in the crowd! Kalaris, in a minute, you're going to have to go talk to him. Aigers plays against 4GG. which means Lilbo opens up the tournament. Of course, the finalists from Season 2 up against Jadon Graham. Draw out Lilbo for us. There we go. Lilbo joins Group D with Jadon, 4GG, and Igers.
Yeah, Igers going up against 4GG. 4GG's best matchup, hands down. I'm sure he's going to be very happy about that. I'm not sure about Igers. And then Lilbo against Jadon. It's kind of a tricky one. Lilbo has kind of, I guess, been doing really well recently, and obviously made that finals in the last season, and PBZ's kind of been his best matchup, but Jadong's never going to be easy.
The thing is Lilbo, he wants to win it. If he wants to win it, he's got to beat anybody, right? So might as well do it in the round of 16.
Exactly, and I think if he makes it out of this group, he's got a very good chance. Yeah. I mean, with Hitman in the other group, that can potentially cause another upset, and yeah, I think if Lilbo makes it out of that group, he's got good chances.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much, Graham, for doing the draw. No mistakes at all. Now it's time to head into the audience. Kalaris, who are you with?
I'm with the man of the moment right now. That's who I'm with. All right. Group C, buddy. Group C. What do you make of it?
Obviously, it's looking like a pretty tough group. I've played all these guys on the ladder a couple times, so they know my style. But hopefully I'll have something prepared, something special prepared. Watch out, guys.
Watch out. Hitman's out for you, including you, Violet. Watch out. We're done. All of them.
All right, thank you very much, Kalaris. Sam's finding himself before we continue on. We've got the draw done. We have no microphone. Someone stole your microphone. I think Kalaris has it, doesn't he? So we'll get you a microphone in a second here, Pig. A wonderful set of players here, Sam.
Yeah, wonderful set of players here, and I'm actually such a big fan of Hitman now. He's come here, he's done his thing, he's just so carefree, and yeah, he's just always having fun, always got a smile on his face.
Yeah, Pig here, final thoughts before we end the round of 32.
It's only a couple of weeks away. Poland, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be huge. Mana's going to be there, Hitman's going to be there, a lot of the heroes are going to be there. So, hey, I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing weekend over there.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic set of players that will be playing live at the season finals. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us for the first time here, Sam. It's been a pleasure having you on the team. Likewise, Jarrett, and of course, thank you to Kalaris and Todd out in the audience. And thank you to everyone coming down here. One final thing to note for everybody at home. Make sure to check out this weekend the MSI tournament that is happening. More WCS points are to be gathered as the journey is not over yet. It's the next stop before we head to the season finals, which will be played in Poland. Until then, we'll see you.
One game away from the crowd.